Hi, welcome to this Corbettmaths video. In this video, we're going to look at the answers to the Laws of Indices practice questions. If you need any extra help on Laws of Indices, if you go to corbettmaths.com and go to the videos and worksheets section and look at videos 17 and 174, there's dedicated video tutorials there on Laws of Indices. In this video, I'm going to focus on the video solutions to the practice questions, so let's get started. Okay, so question number 1, we've got 2 to the power of 2, or 2 squared, multiplied by 2 cubed. So that's 2 times 2 times 2, so that's 2 times 2 for 2 squared, and then we've got 2 times 2 times 2 for 2 cubed, and then we're timesing them together, so that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, so that's 2 to the power 5. Or a quicker way is to just add the powers. 2 plus 3 is 5. So whenever you're multiplying things with the same base, you can just add the powers. Okay, next, question number 2. So question number 2 says to simplify 5 to the power 4 multiplied by 5 to the power 3. So we've got the same bases, 5 and 5, so that means we can just add the powers. And 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, so it's going to be 5 to the power of 7. So that's our answer there. You could check it, you could write out 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, and then 5 times 5 times 5, and then times them together, and that'd be 5 to the power of 7. And that's it. Okay, question number 3. So question number 3 says simplify n squared multiplied by n to the power 4. So we've got the same base here, so we just add the powers. That's going to be n to the power of 2 plus 4 is 6. So that's be n to the power of 6. And again, you could check it. You could do n times n, and then you've got n times n times n times n, and then if you multiply them together, you'd have n to the power of 6. Okay, question number 4. So question number 4, we've got p to the power of 6 multiplied by p squared is p to the power of x, and we've been asked to find the value of x. In other words, what number this power would be. So remember, we're multiplying things with the same base, so that means we can just add the powers. And 6 plus 2 is 8, so that means it'd be p to the power of 8. So that's just for the value of x here, so we've got p to the power of 8, so that means that x is 8. So the answer is just 8. That's it. Okay, next, question number 5. Question number 5 says, Jonah was asked to simplify y to the power of 8 multiplied by y cubed, and his answer was y to the power of 24, and we've been asked to explain his mistakes. So if we're multiplying things with the same base, we add the powers, so the answer should be y to the power of 11, because 8 plus 3 is 11. But it looks like Jonah's multiplied the powers. 8 times 3 is 24. So Jonah has multiplied the powers together, he should have added them. So let's write that down. And that's it. So I've just written down that Jonah has multiplied the powers. 8 times 3 is 24, where he should have added them. 8 plus 3 is 11, and the answer is y to the power of 11. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 6. So question number 6a says simplify w to the power of 4 multiplied by w to the power of 4. So we're multiplying things with the same base, that means we add the powers. 4 plus 4 is 8, so the answer would be w to the power of 8. So it's w to the power of 8. And again, we could check it, we could write out w times 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 w, and then that'd be w to the power of 8. Okay, next, now we've got a division. So when we divide things with the same base, we take away the powers. So here, a to the power of 6 divided by a cubed would be a to the power of 3. So the answer is a cubed. And we can check that. If we do a cubed times a cubed, we'd add the powers, and that'd be a to the power of 6. So that means if we do a to the power of 6 divided by a cubed, the answer would be a cubed. And we can just take away the powers. Okay, next, question number 7. Okay, 7a says simplify m to the power of 5 multiplied by m to the power of 3, or m cubed. Again, we can just add the powers together because we're multiplying things by the same base. That'll be m to the power of 8, because 5 plus 3 is 8. And this division one, we've got m to the power of 8 divided by m squared. Because we're dividing things with the same base, we can take away the powers. That'll be m, and 8 take away 2 is 6, so it'll be m to the power of 6. Okay, next, part C, we've been asked to simplify m cubed squared, and here we've got a power of a power because we've got these two powers beside each other. So when you've got a power of a power, you can multiply the powers together, and 3 times 2 is 6. That'd be m to the power of 6. And let's just see why. Remember, squared means to multiply by itself, so that means m cubed multiplied by m cubed, and then because we're multiplying by itself, and then if we add the powers, that'd be m to the power of 6. So the shortcut is when you've got a power of a power, you can just multiply the powers together. Okay, next. Okay, question number 8, we've got simplify c to the power of 12 over c to the power of 4. And this means divided by, this is c to the power of 12 divided by c to the power of 4. And you can just take away the powers. So we do 12, take away 4 is equal to 8. So the answer would be c to the power of 8. And that's it. Okay, next, question number 9. So question number 9, we've been asked to simplify m to the power of 9 times m divided by m to the power of 5. So let's deal with this numerator to begin with. We've got m to the power of 9 times m. So that means we've got m times m times m, and we've got 9 of them multiplied together, and then another 1. So altogether there'd be 10 m's multiplied together, so that'd be m to the power of 10. Another way you can consider it is, here we've got m, which is m to the power of 1. You can add the powers, so that'd be m to the power of 10, because we're adding the powers here. And then we've got divided by m to the power of 5. Remember, this line means divided by. So now we're going to take away the powers. 10 take away 5 is 5, so the answer would be m to the power of 5. And that's it, m to the power of 5. And if you got that, well done. Okay, next, question number 10. So question number 10, we've been asked to match the expressions. So in other words, we've got some questions and some answers, and we've got to match them. So let's work out the answers to each of them. We've got c to the power of 10 divided by c to the power of 5. We would take away the powers. 10 take away 5 is 5. So it would be c to the power of 5. Next, we've got c to the power of 7 multiplied by c cubed. Add the powers. 7 plus 3 is 10. So that'll be c to the power of 10. Here we've got a power of a power, so we multiply the powers together. 8 times 2 is 16, so that'll be c to the power of 16. And finally, c to the power of 6 divided by c to the power of 4. You take away the powers, so that'll be c squared. And that's it. Okay, next, question number 11. So question number 11, we've been asked to simplify s cubed multiplied by s to the power of 4 divided by s squared. So let's deal with the numerator to begin with. S cubed times s to the power of 4. Well, let's add the powers together. That'll be s to the power of 7, because 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. And then we've got divided by s squared. Now we've got divided by, that means we're going to take away the powers. So 7 take away 2 is 5. So the answer would be s to the power of 5. Trying to make them look a bit different. So s to the power of 5. And that's it. And just to recap, we dealt with the numerator to begin with. We added the powers, so that'd be s to the power of 7. Then we had over, which means divided by. Then 7 take away 2 is 5, so it'd be s to the power of 5. Okay, next, question number 12. So question number 12, we've got some negative numbers. So we just need to make sure we can add and subtract some of our negatives. So we were multiplying. We've been asked to simplify w cubed to multiply by w to the power of negative 5. So remember, when we're multiplying things by the same base, you add the powers. So we're going to do 3 plus negative 5. So we're going to do 3 plus negative 5, and then that will give us our power. So 3 plus negative 5, when we add 5, we go up. So when we add negative 5, we go down. So if we're at 3 and we go down 5, that's equal to negative 2. Or another way to consider it is, rather than doing 3 plus negative 5, we could do negative 5 plus 3. And if you're at negative 5, you got 3, you get to negative 2. So the answer is going to be w to the power of negative 2. If you add the powers here, you get negative 2. And just to recap that, negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2, or 3 plus negative 5 is equal to negative 2. And that's why it's w to the power of negative 2. Okay, next, we've been asked to simplify a to the power of 4 divided by a to the power of negative 2. So we're going to take away the powers, so it's going to be equal to a to the power of something. So we're going to do 4 take away negative 2. So we go 4 subtract negative 2. So we're subtracting a negative. When you subtract a positive, you go down. When you subtract a negative, you go back up. So we're going to go back up 2, or we're going to do 4 plus 2. And 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. So it's going to be a to the power of 6. So that's a to the power of 6. And just to recap, because we're dividing things with the same base, we take away. So we're doing 4 subtract negative 2. And 4 subtract negative 2 is 6. So it's a to the power of 6. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 13. I actually like the look at this one. We've got c to the power of 7 multiplied by c to the power of 6 to the power of 4. So let's deal with this power of a power to begin with. So we'd multiply the powers together. 6 times 4 is 24. So you'd have c to the power of 7 multiplied by c to the power of 24, because 6 times 4 is 24. So we've now got this, c to the power of 7 multiplied by c to the power of 24, because we multiply these powers together to get 24. Now we're multiplying things with the same base, and we're now going to add the powers. 7 plus 24 is 31, so it's c to the power of 31. And that's it, c to the power of 31. And that's our answer. Okay, question number 14. Okay, so question number 14, we've been asked to work out the value of 2 to the power of 9 multiplied by 2 to the power of negative 2 divided by 2 cubed. And actually this time we've been asked to work out the value of it, so we're not just to simplify, to work out the value, and it's a non-calculator question. So let's deal with this to begin with. Let's simplify it using our laws of indices, and then we'll work out the value of it at the end. Okay, so let's deal with the numerator to begin with. We've got 2 to the power of 9 multiplied by 2 to the power of negative 2. So because we're multiplying things with the same base, we add the powers. So we're going to do 9 plus negative 2. So when we add 2, we go up. Whenever we add negative 2, we're going to go down. So 9 plus negative 2 will be equal to 7. So that'll be 2 to the power of 7. Another way to consider that is if we had negative 2 and then we add 9, we get to 7. So we've just added the powers there. Now we've got our divided by 2 cubed. So we've now got 2 to the power of 7 divided by 2 cubed. So remember, we take away the powers. So that'll be 2 to the power of 7 take away 3 is equal to 4. So that's 2 to the power of 4. Now 2 to the power of 4 would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So the answer would be 16. And if you got that, well done. Okay, next, question number 15. So question number 15, we've been asked to simplify, and then we've got in brackets 5 to the power of negative 3 multiplied by 5 to the power of 7, all cubed. So let's work out what's inside the brackets to begin with. So we've got 5 to the power of negative 3 multiplied by 5 to the power of 7. There's going to be 5 to the power of, and then we would add the powers. Negative 3 plus 7 is 4, so it'll be 5 to the power of 4. And then we've got cubed. Now we've got a power of a power. We multiply the two powers together. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. So the answer would be 5 to the power of 12. And that's it. And we've given our answer as a power of 5. That means we don't actually need to work it out. We just need to write it as 5 to the power of something. Okay, question number 16. Okay, so question number 16, we've been asked to simplify 2a cubed c cubed multiplied by 3a squared c. Okay, so whenever we want to simplify something like this, you multiply the numbers at the front to begin with. 2 times 3 is 6, so it's going to be 6. And then we've got a cubed times a squared. So it's going to be a, and then let's add the powers together. 3 plus 2 is 5, because a cubed times a squared would be a to the power of 5. And then in terms of our c's, we've got c cubed times c. Well, c times c times c times another c would be c to the power of 4. Or you could just say c to the power of 1 and add the powers would be c to the power of 4. So the answer would be 6, a to the power of 5, c to the power of 4. And whenever you're dealing with questions like this, you just deal with the numbers at the front and then you deal with each of the letters separately. Okay, question number 17. So question number 17 is a similar question, but it's division. So we're going to do the division first. 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5, so it's going to be 5. Then we've got m to the power of 5 divided by m squared, so we take away the powers. 5 take away 2 is 3, so it's going to be m cubed. And then we've got n to the power of 4 divided by n, well, that's n to the power of 1. We take away the powers, 4 take away 1 is 3. So the answer would be 5m cubed, n cubed. And that's it, 5m cubed, n cubed. And that's it. Okay, question number 18. So question number 18, we've been asked to simplify 7x cubed squared, and we've been asked to circle the correct answer. Now in terms of this question, you could approach it in different ways. We're squaring something, so we could multiply this by itself. We could do 7x cubed multiplied by 7x cubed, and 7 times 7 is equal to 49. And then we've got our x, and then we add the powers here, so it'll be x to the power of 6. So the answer would be 49x to the power of 6. So that's one way we could do it. Another way, if we had something like this and we wanted to work it out, what you could do is you've got 7 squared, and 7 squared is equal to 49. So then you've got x to the power of 3 squared. So you've got a power of a power. You times those powers together, so it'll be x to the power of 6. So you just do 7 squared, and then you just do the power of a power, and that's your answer. Okay, next, question number 9. Okay, question number 9, we've been asked to simplify 2m to the power of 4 cubed. And again, you could write this out, 2m to the power of 4 multiplied by 2m to the power of 4 multiplied by 2m to the power of 4. Or let's just use our laws of indices, so let's write equals. So 2 cubed, well 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, so it's 8. And then we've got m, and then we've got a power of a power, so let's multiply the powers together. 4 times 3 is 12. So the answer is 8m to the power of 12. And that's it. Okay, next, question number 20. Okay, question number 20 is similar, but now we've got to the power of 4. We've got 2xy cubed to the power of 4. Okay, let's deal with the number in front to begin with. 2 to the power of 4. Well, that'll be 2 to the power of 4. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. So it's going to be 16 in the front because 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Now let's look at our x's. We've got x to the power of 4. Remember, this is x to the power of 1, and if you do 1 times 4, power of a power, 1 times 4 is equal to 4. Or you just do x to the power of 4, which is x to the power of 4. And then in terms of our y's, well, remember, power of a power, we multiply the powers together. 3 times 4 is 12, so it's going to be y to the power of 12. So the answer is 16x to the power of 4, y to the power of 12. And that's it. Okay, question number 21. Okay, question number 21. We've been asked to work out the value of, so we're not just to simplify, we need to get an answer here, of 3 to the power of 16 divided by 3 squared to the power of 7. Okay, so in terms of this, we've got 3 to the power of 16, and then divided by. And then we've got a power of a power here, so let's multiply the powers together. 2 times 7 is 14, so it's going to be 3 to the power of 14. Just working this bit out. Now, remember, we're dividing things with the same base, so we can take away the powers. 16 take away 14 is 2, so it's 3 squared. And then 3 squared is 9, so the answer is just 9. And that's it. And if you got that, well done. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 22. So question number 22, we've got this, a to the power of a fifth multiplied by a to the power of 2/3 divided by a to the power of 3/5. And in terms of this question, it looks quite daunting to begin with, but we're just going to use the laws of indices. That's actually quite nice. It's a calculator question. So in terms of this, let's deal with the numerator to begin with. So we're going to have a to the power of, and then in terms of our powers, we've got to the power of a fifth and to the power of 2/3. So remember, we just add the powers together. If this was a non-calculator question, I would then need to set this out and do a fifth plus 2/3 and work that out. And this could be a non-calculator question. But in terms of this question, I've been quite nice. I've let it be a calculator question. So you can just do a fifth plus 2/3 on your calculator. And a fifth plus 2/3 is equal to 13/15. So 13/15. So that's what we get when we add the powers. And then divided by a to the power of 3/5. So we've dealt with the numerator. Now we just need to then simplify this by taking away the powers, because this is divided by. So we're going to do 13/15 take away 3/5. And again, it's a calculator question. So we can now just do take away 3/5, and that's equal to 4/15. So the answer is a to the power of 4/15. And that's it. And if this was a non-calculator question, you just would have needed to work out a fifth plus 2/3, again a common denominator, which would have been 15 and 15. And to get from 5 to 15, you would times by 3. So you times the numerator by 3, so that would be 3/15. And to get from 3 to 15, you times by 5, so you times the numerator by 5, so that would be 10/15. And then if you add them together, that would be 13/15. So that's how we done the first bit. And then you would take away your 3/5. And again, if you use a similar approach with subtraction, you would have got 4/15 as an answer. So the answer is a to the power of 4/15. Okay, next, question number 23. So question number 23, we've been asked to simplify fully the square root of 50 pi a to the power of 5 divided by 2 pi a cubed. Okay, so in terms of this, let's do the division to begin with, okay? So we're going to have the square root of, and then 50 divided by 2 is 25. Pi divided by pi, well, pi divided by pi is 1, so it will just cancel out. And then you've got a to the power of 5 divided by a to the power of 3. So you're going to take away your powers. So 5 take away 3 is 2. So it's going to be a squared. So you've got the square root of 25a squared. Well, thinking about this, what do you times by itself to get 25a squared? That'll be 5a. The answer would just be 5a. I'm thinking about that. The square root of 25 is 5. And the square root of a squared would just be a. So the answer is just 5a. And if you got that, well done. Okay, so let's have a look at question number 24. So question number 24 says work out the cube root of 2 cubed multiplied by 3 to the power of 8 over 3 squared. Okay, so in terms of this, it's a non-calculator question. Okay, so let's simplify what we can under this square root sign to begin with. So let's have a look at this. We've got 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 3 to the power of 8 divided by 3 squared. So here we can't deal with the numerator to begin with because we've got different bases, but we can look at the 3's. We've got 3 to the power of 8 divided by 3 squared. So we can take away the powers there. 8 take away 2 is 6. So that would be, if we simplify this, we would get 2 cubed multiplied by 3 to the power of 6. And we've still got our cube root, so we've got the cube root of that. So the cube root of 2 cubed, well, that'll just be 2, so that's going to be 2. And then we've got 3 to the power of 6, and we're working out the cube root of that. So in other words, what do you multiply by itself and by itself again to get 3 to the power of 6? Well, that would be 3 squared, because 3 squared multiplied by 3 squared multiplied by 3 squared would be 3 to the power of 6. So that would be multiplied by 3 squared. Or another way to do it is, if you might notice here, that what I've done is, whenever we're doing the cube root of something, you can divide the power by 3. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1, so that's 2 to the power of 1. And 6 divided by 3 is 2, so that'll be 3 to the power of 2. So if you're doing the cube root of something, you can divide the power by 3. So we've now got this, which is 2 multiplied by 3 squared. 3 squared is 9, so we've got 2 times 9, and 2 times 9 is 18. So the answer is 18. Okay, next, question number 25. Okay, so question number 25 says simplify 25 multiplied by 5 cubed multiplied by 5 to the power of 6. I've been asked to give our answer as a power of 5, so that means we want to give an answer as 5 to the power of something. So here, the one thing I notice here is we've got 25, but 25 is 5 squared, so we've got 5 squared multiplied by 5 to the power of 3 multiplied by 5 to the power of 6. So I've just replaced the 25 with 5 squared. Now this would be quite easy because now we've got the same base. We've got 5 squared times 5 cubed times 5 to the power of 6. We've got the same base, so it's going to be 5. And then we can just add the powers. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 6 is 11, so it's going to be 5 to the power of 11. And that's it. So the answer is 5 to the power of 11. Okay, let's have a look at our last question, question number 26. So question number 26 says, write 27 multiplied by 9 to the power of x as a power of 3 in terms of x. So in other words, we want our answer to be 3 to the power of something. Okay, so if we have a look, we've got 27. 27 is 3 cubed because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Because 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So 27 is 3 cubed. And then we've got multiplied by, and then we've got 9 to the power of x. But 9 is 3 squared because 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So instead of 9, I'm going to write 3 squared. So that's 9. I'm just putting it in a bracket, and then I've got to the power of x. So we've got 3 cubed multiplied by 3 squared to the power of x. So I've replaced the 27 with 3 cubed, and I've replaced the 9 with 3 squared, but I've put it in brackets. Okay, so now we've got a power of a power, so let's multiply the two powers together. So we've got 3 to the power of 3 multiplied by, and then we've got 3, and then let's multiply the powers together. 2 times x would be 2x. Now we've got 3 cubed multiplied by 3 to the power of 2x. So we're multiplying things with the same base, so we're going to add the powers. So we're going to get that's equal to 3 to the power. If we add the powers, we've got 3 plus 2x. Well, it'll just be 3 plus 2x. You can't do anything with that. You can't simplify that. So that's it. And that's it. So our answer would be 3 to the power of 3 plus 2x. Now, in terms of this addition, you could write it the other way around. You could have written 3 to the power of 2x plus 3. Obviously, with addition, you can write it either way around, but either one of those would be correct. And if you got one of those, well done. And that's it. So this video, we've looked at the video solutions to the Laws of Indices practice questions. I really hope you found it useful, and I hope you find these resources in Corbettmaths useful. And if you do find them useful, please like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you need any extra help on Laws of Indices, if you go to the videos and worksheets section of the website, you look at video 17 or 174, there's a dedicated video tutorial there on Laws of Indices. But thanks very much for watching. Cheers. Bye.